I was too excited to knock him out. I was like, say to everybody all week, knock him out, knock him out. I tried to knock him out. That was wrong for me from the beginning.
Welcome back to Sportskeeda MMA News. Today's news features Khamzat Chimaev looking for a quick comeback, Henry Cejudo re-entering the USADA testing pool, Dana White blasting fans over criticizing Khamzat Chimaev, Alexander Volkanovski teasing a move to lightweight, and Garry's experience at UFC 273. We always ask questions after every headline, so make sure you answer them in the comments. Let's get started. The newly crowned 11-0 Khamzat Chimaev is already eyeing an Octagon return after winning a bloody fight of the night decision over Gilbert Burns at UFC 273. On the ESPN MMA post-show, Chimaev was asked how soon he'd like to come back to the Octagon. He wasted no time. "I have to go back and fix my eyes, and when it's finished, when my face is good, I'm gonna start to spar, and how fast is possible, I'll be back." Chimaev was then asked if he thinks 3 to 4 months would be a good time for a return, but he hinted it might be even sooner. "No, I don't think so. There's not much I need, but just fix my eyes, and I can come back. I'm in shape, I know." Finally, Chimaev was asked if he would serve as a backup to the potential title fight between Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards, and he simply said, "I'm ready." Chimaev then spoke about his performance against Burns at the UFC 273 post-fight press conference. He said this.
I was too excited to knock him out. I was like, say to everybody all week, knock him out, knock him out. I tried to knock him out. That was wrong for me from the beginning. The guy was tough. I didn't accept that. I would be like that. But from first second to last second, I had to try to finish him. Next time, I'm gonna work a little bit smarter and gotta smash somebody. This was wrong for me. Coach told me all the time, slow down and work more technical. I just wanna take his head off, like always that we do. And next time, I'm gonna work for that.
After Chimaev's win against Gilbert Burns, how do you think he matches up against Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and while you're at it, consider hitting that subscribe button. It seems like the UFC 273 co-main and main event had Henry Cejudo fired up about competing again. After watching Aljamain Sterling defend his belt against Petr Yan, Cejudo took to Twitter to air out his thoughts. Here is what he had to say. "Hey Dana White, all your bantamweights suck, especially the CEO of EPO. Listen, Aljamain Sterling, you got lucky against Petr Yan. I've seen better decisions on 90 Day Fiancé." Cejudo then announced his return to the USADA testing pool. "I'm getting back in the pool." For those who don't know, USADA is the governing body in charge of testing fighters for illicit substances. The announcement was then made official by his manager Ali Abdelaziz, who said this on Twitter. "The king, Henry Cejudo, is back. Hide your wife and hide your kids. Nobody is safe." Henry Cejudo even spoke about his chances against the featherweight champ in a recent episode of the Triple C and Schmo show.
"I know if I can fight Alexander Volkanovski, I know that I can still beat him. You know what I mean? It's not about me killing him. It's just about me beating him, outsmarting him, outwitting him. And I still believe that I do have the ability, the speed, the wrestling, the IQ, the experience, the toughness, the grit to really challenge a man like that."
The 16-2 Cejudo retired from MMA after defending his belt against two-time bantamweight champ Dominic Cruz in 2020. Cejudo has held both the flyweight and bantamweight belts. If Cejudo returns soon, he might face any of the top bantamweights, such as TJ Dillashaw, champ Aljamain Sterling, or even vie for a third belt by picking a fight with Volkanovski. Do you think Cejudo will be the first person to win 3 belts in 3 divisions? UFC President Dana White had a few words to say about fans writing off Chimaev for not finishing Gilbert Burns. At the UFC 273 post-fight press conference, here's what White had to say. "Well, he's human. I mean, any who said that doesn't think the kid's a human being. He just beat the number 2 welterweight in the world in the UFC, with a couple of fights in the UFC. If you don't think he's the real deal, you're out of your mind." White is referring to fans getting spoiled with Chimaev's performances in the UFC leading up to the Burns fight, including debut back-to-back finishes over John Phillips and Rhys McKee within 10 days, and a 17-second knockout over Gerald Meerschaert a few months later. White then went on to compare Chimaev to Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey. "Yeah, he's gone that fast. Fight Island, remember that? He said I want to fight again next week. I said, okay, let's do it. And ever since then, he's been like a rocket ship. I think he's got 3.5 million followers on Instagram. You saw what happened tonight. Think about this. When's the last time you saw a guy come out of nowhere? Nobody knows who he is, comes out of nowhere, then fights a couple of fights, then fights the number 2 ranked guy in the world, and wins." Do you think White is happy to let Chimaev face someone like Colby Covington instead of putting him in a title fight? UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski was fired up after his dominant TKO victory over the Korean Zombie. Volkanovski spoke about his future in MMA after his third title defense. He had this to say at the UFC 273 press conference. "I'm in a position where I can do a couple of things, and if this division doesn't want to sort itself out, and they're all gonna sit back and wait for then fine. I'll move up and fight lightweight. I'm an easy champ to understand. Take that #1 spot, you get that shot. If not, let's move up. I think we're in a good position to move up, maybe see what happens in this lightweight division title fight, and maybe move up, because again, I'm showing I'm levels ahead in this division. Maybe we move up." Volkanovski then reminded fans of his divisional credentials. "I fought at middleweight. People forget. You know we talk about pound for pound. You gotta remember I'm undefeated at middleweight. My only loss is at welterweight. I'm undefeated in every other division. So look what I'm doing to these guys. I've fought at all different weights. We talk about pound for pound. It's there. I'm showing you what I can do. And I'm owning that crown, so honestly from now on, Bald Volk is coming for everyone. So lightweight division, watch out." The 24-1 Alexander Volkanovski is riding an 11-fight win streak in the UFC, and most likely will face former champ Max Holloway next in the trilogy fight. Do you think Alexander Volkanovski will be considered the best featherweight of all time? And last but not least, welterweight prospect Garry spoke about his UFC sophomore appearance against Darian Weeks, where he won via unanimous decision. Speaking to BT Sport, Garry had this to say.
You know what, it felt great. It was an amazing experience to get the full 3 rounds. Obviously I want to finish every fight, but I don't look for the finish. They come, they present themselves when they feel right. And there was a lot of shots that I was just missing the distance on, and that was just because he was awkward. His hands, his defense was weird, and I was trying to just figure him out. But here, we came out, I'm 9-0, I've got to win. It's my second UFC fight, I put on a show, I got the crowds entertained. And now we go back and we learn and we do it again.
The 9-0 Garry is steadily making a name for himself in the welterweight division after notching a UFC debut KO over Jordan Williams. Who should Garry fight next? That about does it for Sportskeeda MMA news. Here are some of our favorite recent comments. Wesley Randallhoff says, "Burns straightened out Khamzat's career stats real quick though, not gonna lie." Jason Mayer says, "Every split decision, since even the judges can't agree, gets people screaming robbery and fix. The fact is, it was a very, very close fight. It's not a robbery, it's not a fix. It was a close fight that people are split on as to who the winner was, including the judges." Muhammad Tanvir Hassan says, "We overestimated Khamzat and underestimated Burns." If you like this video, please like, comment, and share. Your comments could be featured in the next Sportskeeda MMA news video. For updates, quotes, and even exclusive interviews from all your favorite fighters, follow Sportskeeda MMA on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in.